Hello everybody and welcome to the end of June 2024 Shite in the Park meet. So we'll take a wee walk around this meet and I'll show you all the best cars here. Right, let's take a wee look at this Citroen BX. So this one, BX Sport, it's a left-hand drive. I'm curious what engine's in it. Let's go and take a wee look. It does have a very unusual body kit on it. I don't think I've ever seen a sport model in the UK actually. Now, luckily the bonnet's open. Petrol and 1.9 I guess. Maybe even a 1.6. Put in the comments what that is. But this is a lovely old thing. Let's take a wee look inside. The interior does look a little bit similar to the ones in the GTIs. Proper quirky switchgear in these as well. But yeah, this is definitely an interesting find, this one. Put in the comments if this is your car and you want a review done on it. Right, who likes a Triumph TR7? Well, check this one out. Fixed head coupe. This one is absolutely mint condition. Obviously, the full restoration. Check those arches out. And looking through there, you can even see that underneath is all painted. I don't think I've ever seen one in a condition like this. Great to see. What's that on there on a P plate? So what's that about? 76 or a 77? Looks like there's been a lot of money spent on this one. So let's take a wee look inside it because the window's open. Right, check this out inside. Completely factory original. Totally mint condition. We're lucky enough to get a look under the bonnet of this one. Twin SU carbs. Triumph 2 litre 8 valve in there. And again, how original is this? Even the brake pipe's original. It's a real survivor, this car. Right, and this needs to be the rarest car in the show. Fiat Strada 130TC Abarth. Now look at that thing, beautiful. This was the one to have back in the 80s, wasn't it? So on a B plate 1984. And this thing is in stunning condition, check that out. Polished alloy wheels as well. Let's have a wee look inside this one if we can. Looks like we've got a wee half cage in it. And the dashboard in these is super cool. You can't really make it out on the camera, but same with the seats. Check these out. So quirky. But this would have to be one of the best ones I have seen. Well, let's take a wee look under the bonnet. Looks like 2 litre twin cam in this one. Getting like some amazing condition, this.
It's because there's an M&S up the retail part.
Mark 1 Astra GTE. Check this one out. 1.8 for these early ones. And it's in the right colour, isn't it? I love a black car. Totally standard, this thing. Again, fantastic condition. Stunning. On an A plate, so 1984. I mean, these Mark 1s are really, really thin in the ground. I've never ever driven a Mark 1. I've driven a Mark 2 on the channel. It'd be nice to actually have a shot of a Mark 1 at some point. Can't really make out the interior. GTE stamped into the seats there. Totally beautiful car, that one. Now what were these? 120 brake horsepower maybe? Let's take a wee look round the back. Yeah, check that out. Love that lettering on there. GTE Astra 1.8 fuel injection. Who's owned one of these in? Put in the comments. Right, I'm definitely going to feature this one. Check this out. Another B5 Audi A4, same shape as mine, but this one's a 1.8 turbo quattro. So I think these were 180 brake, these ones. Maybe 150. Put in the comments. But it's a stunning colour, this. And it's in great condition. Check that out. I think that's actually in better nick than my one. Very, very rare to see these days in this kind of condition. But yeah, really, really like that colour. And an X. So what are we talking there? So that's quite a late one. Maybe a year 2000. Let's try and take a wee look inside. And these have got different seats to say what mine has. Quattro, yeah, heavily bolstered those seats. Half leather, cloth in the middle. Got white dials in there. A different steering wheel. So yeah, nice motor this is. I'm wondering actually, I think this probably would have been a 150. Yeah, good to see another B5. Well, it wouldn't be a retro ratchet video without a Volvo. Here we have a Volvo 164 automatic on a J plate. Super old, this one. So that's very low, doesn't it? Maybe just the suspension's given up a wee bit on this one. Joking aside, what a lovely car. That leather interior, got a strip speedometer in there, and then that metal piece there in the steering wheel. Yeah, really, really nice. I like that one. I guess it would probably be very similar to the 144 to drive. Here's our view from the front. Quite unusual actually when you look at them. Yeah, just a little bit more old-fashioned than the 144, I think. And this does look like a wee bit of a survivor, this one. It does have a few war wounds around it, but and again, you know, this is something from the 70s. It is getting on a bit. Just put in the comments what you think of that. 164? Cool or not cool? Right, and here we have what I think is probably the most valuable car at this show. Mercedes Cosworth, but this one's an Evo 2. Now these things are fetching serious money now. Probably over 100 grand for something like this. I think this one's just over 60 odd thousand miles on the clock. It's a 2.5 16. I'm sure they put out something like 235 brake horsepower. And that's from naturally aspirated engine. So there's loads and loads of interesting features in this one. You've got those twin tailpipes there. You've got this huge spoiler, and I'm sure that bottom bit is active. Not 100% sure on that, but you've got this wee spoiler over the back window there. And check out the body kit in that. It looks proper mean. Sits really, really, really low. I believe there's tons of specific parts in these versus the standard 190 Causies. They all came in left-hand drive as well, limited numbers, dog-leg gearbox. But yeah, lovely car this one. Now here's something you don't see every day, Datsun Violet. This one's on a W, it's maybe a 1980, 1979. It's in quite a striking colour, this one actually. Check that out, it's obviously had a restoration. I'd say probably quite recently. Very rare these. 4-speed manual. It's 41,000 miles on the clock. Lovely velour interior in this one. No engines in this, maybe a 1.6 or a 2 litre. If you're lucky, it's probably a 1.6. Put in the comments if you know. Yeah, interesting looking car. I can't say I've seen very many of these. Loads of little details here. I'm guessing that was probably where they had wing mirrors on them at one point. Original steel wheels in this one, 13-inch. They do look quite tiny. Original steel wheels in this, they do look tiny to be fair, 13-inch. But yeah, it's nice to see one of these restored. Check this one out, Peugeot 309 XLD. So poverty spec 309, but I tell you what, it's in great condition. 3-door, it's got GTI alloys on it. Yeah, I quite like that in the 3-door. It's a 5-speed gearbox. Guess that'll be the 1.9 XUD in that. Maybe 60 brake horsepower. But yeah, and it's quite a decent colour, that one. An E-Reg, so what's that, 1987? You know, these things were really popular back in the day. They were really cheap to run. You'd get 50 odd mile per gallon out of them and they would last forever. But 309s, they really are a rare sight these days. I think they all just rusted away. I guess everybody focused on the 205s, invested all the money restoring them, but yeah, it's good to see one of these on the road. Really nice motor. Now here we have something you don't see every day. An Opal Manta with a Rover V8 in it. Twin SU carbs under the bonnet. Check this out. Do you want to see this one in the channel? 3-speed automatic. Stripped out for maximum performance, I would imagine. It does look the part. So X-plate 1982. Don't think I've seen an SD1 conversion in one of these, but to be fair, you don't see many Mantas on the road at all. So the engine fits in there pretty well. That's a reasonable amount of clearance, I think. I think that would be an interesting car to drive. I don't know, maybe that 3-speed auto would kill it a bit. I don't know, what do you guys reckon? Ford Orion. Now this one stands out a wee bit with that paint scheme. It looks mint condition, mind. Those polished RS alloys there. Let's take a wee look under the bonnet. So 1.6 CVH under here and a turbo. Interesting. So RS turbo lump in there, all colour coded. I reckon somebody has put a lot of money into this car to get it in that kind of condition. Recaro front seats, really nice. You've got period white dials in there as well. You've got some dials in the centre as well, but what a nice motor, really stands out. Dare I say it, it does look very max power, which isn't a bad thing at a show like this. I just clocked there, it does have some bonnet vents as well, like the RS Turbo. But yeah, I actually quite like that. Just put in the comments what you think. Thumbs up or thumbs down. And here we have a stunning Rover SD1. And of course, that is my one. Do we want to sell it? Absolutely. And here we have a poverty spec Citroen BX. So yeah, another BX at the show today. This one is a 1.4 RE. Silver E-plate, so 1988-ish. Looks in pretty decent condition, this one. Let's have a wee look inside this one. Don't expect there'll be much kit in here. Actually, to be fair, it's got electric windows in it, cloth seats, I guess probably 5-speed manual gearbox. Yeah, it's interesting to see a base spec one. Let's take a wee look round the back of this one. Yeah, so this one's sitting quite high. You usually see these things sitting low at shows. Exhaust exiting out to the side there. But yeah, what a smart car. Never owned a BX, so it might have to be one to add to the list at some point. Volvo, another Volvo. Let's check this one out. A 480. This one is a base spec one. It's a 1.7S in red, obviously aftermarket alloys on it. To be fair, it does suit red paintwork. Let's have a wee look inside this one. 2-spoke steering wheel, so probably quite an early one. Back when they put a catalyser badge on the back to say the car was fitted with a cat. Is that something we should be proud of? So yeah, 1.7 Renault engine, 8 valve, manual gearbox. What do you reckon of this one, guys? You don't happen to see many of these that are actually sported up. And there's the guy's Insta on there if you want to check it out. And another Lambda badge. How cool is that? Yeah, in the back of these, it is basically a 2-seater. But yeah, I like these V480s. I've owned a turbo myself, but that was a long time ago. Now this looks pretty rare. Citran Zara 1.8 injection SX trim. Now, you do not see these at many meets. Automatic gearbox. I think the 1.8 in this was quite a rare thing. It was mostly 1.4s or the 1.9 diesels or turbo diesels. This one looks in pretty decent condition. Yeah. Original 14-inch steel wheels. Now those original wheel trims on it. Always quite liked these. Never ever owned one. A VTS one would definitely be a good find if these even existed anymore. I could imagine there's probably only 3 or 4 of them left. But yeah, it's nice to see a 1.8 SX at a show. Meet, I mean.